Welcome to Module 1, Projects Today. We'll get started with this. I just have this brief introductory video just to start to get our heads around the material that you'll encounter as you move through Module 1. So a good starting point for us would probably be, well, what exactly is a project? And a working definition I'd like to use for this course is that it's a one-time or unique activity that requires resources, has specified outcomes, and must be accomplished in a limited time frame. This working definition gives us a focus of these three key items, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a moment. But what it also does is it allows us to encompass many different types of activities as projects, whether that's maybe a smaller item, such as developing a new corporate newsletter or developing an event for your corporation, all the way up to creating windmills and buildings and bridges. So all of those types of activities, if they fit this definition, we should really be looking at using project management tools to administer that work. So let's go with and work with this for now. So basically, if we think about our lives, whether our personal lives or our work lives, there's basically two kinds of work. And we could, I hope, think through our day and divide the task, the activities that we get involved in, into probably one of these two groupings. And as I come into work, I look through my email, get the coffee going, update some documents, check my email, return any messages, those type of things. And then I could probably separate over, and there's other types of work that I do that would be like developing that new newsletter, or creating a new prototype, or renovating an office space, or relocating, those type of things. And I believe as you look down through these, you'd see things, a lot of the word new, or something creative, something that hasn't existed before. And I, in a very general way, group these two things as the routine work, just the stuff that we do. It's just repetitive. It's something we have to do, but it's not strategically moving us forward. And then those other things, those are projects. And those are the types of things where we really need a different tool set and a different mindset to approach those. So why project management? For organizations today, there aren't a lot of additional resources around. We've all been downsizing and resizing and right-sizing, and the additional people just aren't around to get those strategic, unique projects completed because there's so much routine work. Day in and day out, it just fills up with what we do. We teach classes, we process insurance claims, we do many things. That's pretty routine work. But when it comes to doing something new and something that's going to move our organization forward, just mixing it into our routine work just won't get the job done. So how is a project different? It has a very specific deliverable or a set of deliverables. It's to create a new conference room that seats 12 people with one central table, a phone system with camera capabilities, a whiteboard. It's very specified. What will this space be like when the project is complete? Will there be carpet on the floor? Will the walls be painted? Will it be corkboard? What will be the heating and air conditioning? Those all go into defining what that project will result in, so that when we believe we've finished, our customer agrees that you completed what you were supposed to do. This project is done. Specific time requirements. There's a need to complete this project at a certain point in time. And then, as usual, the use of scarce resources. Those might be time, they might be capital, they may be people, contractors, equipment, all of those resources that are scarce in any organization. There usually is not a plethora of all things. And the object is, we want to, as our buddy Larry says, we want to get her done. We don't want to lose sight of getting the projects done because the routine work has gotten in the way. Porterfield's corollary, I hope one day I'll get this really published. If you treat a project like your routine work, then it will A, not get done on time, B, not be done within budget, C, not be done right, or D, all of the above. Pretty much you can bet you'll hit at least 2 out of those 3. And that's what often happens with projects. We lose sight of them in the midst of all of the other things that occur. And those projects are normally selected and identified as being important because the organization needed them, whether that was creating a fundraiser or renovating, or whatever that project was, installing a new computer system, upgrading our desktop computers. They were important activities that needed to be completed in a certain amount of time. And if we don't treat those differently, it's very likely they will not occur as they should. So 3 key elements of a project to summarize. One is the performance objectives. What exactly is this project supposed to accomplish? We call that the scope. What exactly is to be accomplished, and sometimes we also want to note what is not going to be included in the project, so there aren't any false expectations of what was going to occur outside of what we believed. We document this. Even if I was running a fundraiser for my social organization and I was asked to take the lead on that, I would consider that a project, and I would write a couple sentences that would be the scope statement. This event is to occur in the fall. It is to raise $10,000 for the organization. It will be a golf outing at a X-level country club with food included. So I would define as much of that project as I could up front so that we were all in agreement before I ran off and started executing this project. And that scope document or scope statement could be as simple as a few sentences or bullets, or it could be a 150-page document defining exactly what work we're turning over to a contractor to complete. Time, when exactly is this project to be completed? When will it start? When will it end? How long should it be worked on in between? What are the milestones? Milestones are points in time in the life of a project where we identify forward progress. Some projects take 3 weeks, some take 6 weeks, some take 5 years. And I don't know if you've ever been on a project like that, but someone will say, well, how's it going? Well, we started and we're not done yet. We're somewhere in between. Well, milestones keep track of that to ensure that we are making forward progress. And a milestone recognizes a significant portion of our progress. Like if we were renovating this conference room, a milestone may be after we've had all of the demolition completed. The ceiling's been removed, the walls have been removed, the carpeting's been removed. Now we're ready to start constructing it. That's a pretty significant milestone. Possibly a next milestone would be after the walls were back in place with the electric and the telephone equipment already pre-wired. That might be an additional milestone. So a project could have multiple milestones, but they help us keep track of forward progress. Finally, the third item, the cost, the resources, the budget. That might include just a dollar number. This is the amount you're expected to spend and not exceed. It may be a number of hours that you can use certain equipment or space in the building, office space, computers, people that are on loan to you to complete the project. All of those we would include as a cost. And if an activity of work includes these 3 things, a specific performance objective, a time and cost requirement, that's a project, and that's something we want to manage very carefully. So we're off into Module 1. You should find all the materials you need online.